Well, we trained all the babies in Ohio today. Ontario had the Friday, Saturday kind of training sets this week off. Friday was a disaster. James wasn't going to be there on Saturday. The horses have been training fantastic. They've all been at or where we want them to be. We got my father's horse, James Arthur, broke and going. We have Rito's Lady broke and going. We got myself in this bar jogged today. Danny said he jogged good. No issues with him. But I am going to have him up to get fluoroscoped on Monday. So I wanted to go over where the horses were, where the yearlings were this week. Improvements, regression. There were a couple of horses that acted bad in Ohio today. One will end up in his castration immediately, and that is 3rd and 6. I don't have a problem with 3rd and 6. Beautiful horse, got a nice gait. But when you get that little... Here's the problem I have. Now, I can give you a bunch of excuses that may or may not be correct. They may just be exactly what they are, excuses. But I'll tell you, when I see 3rd and 6 come forward, training like 258 3 weeks ago, and then, track was a little deep today. He didn't really want to do his work that much, and every time I asked him, he was kind of dismissive of me. I immediately, when I come off the track, said, I had a list of 4 or 5 horses I was watching closely that could be castrated, and I had told you that Born to Dance and Memories and Imagination would be castrated today. He was better today, Memories and Imagination. But Mike was not there today. Our Dr. Latessa was a little sick the last couple of days. I hope he feels better. But there was a list. And the first 2 horses we were doing were Born to Dance, Memory and Imagination. The first horse that will be done will be 3rd and 6. And the only reason is I don't need to see the horses be excellent all the time. There were a lot of horses that didn't do their work great today. But the attitude, that's something else. When you do it wrong and don't care that you did it wrong and don't really care to correct it, that really sticks in. And that, again, that's a stud thing, right? I said this to somebody, and it sounded silly even when I said it, but stallions take longer to learn. They do. Some of them. The smart ones don't. But for the most part, if you put 5 stallions and 5 geldings beside one another, and all things being equal, started training them, I would suggest that you would likely see the 5 geldings pick it up a little quicker than the 5 stallions, unless the horse was just naturally smart. It's just the way it is. It just seems like the geldings are a little more pliable, a little more manageable for obvious reasons. So 3rd and 6, I don't particularly have a problem with him. I like his gait. Beautiful horse. There's nothing holding him back, and there'll absolutely be nothing holding him back come next week. He is floated to number 1 on the list. Hopefully he gets to number 1 on the good list, but this week he's number 1 on the naughty list, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I am gonna nip it in the bud right now. Hello, Oliver. So we are leaving Northfield right now. Addie out cold. Ava doing something on her tablet. Ollie's sitting back there being quiet, so he's probably plotting something nefarious, probably trying to figure out how to do something bad. Just hasn't figured out what to do yet. We're about 20 minutes out from, we're going to stop at a hotel. So we didn't have anything to race tonight here on the stateside. We weren't going to rush back to Ontario just to watch the horses race, and I wish everybody good luck with JK Mickey Mantle. Ollie's not, but with JK Mickey Mantle and No Free Lunch. They've been racing great. I suspect they'll continue to do so. But us, Amy and I, we are, and the kids, we are heading towards the border. We're going to do a little shopping, Christmas shopping tomorrow in Buffalo. And we notice every time you come down this is the I-90, right? Yeah, every time you come down the I-90, when you're going through that tip of Pennsylvania, Erie, Pennsylvania, there's 2 Holiday Inns. One has those, for those of you who travel this road, and I was surprised how many clients do, the Holiday Inn in I don't know if it's actually Erie, I'm not sure.
It's just like on the other side.
Yeah, by the track, by the horse track like, there. Presskill?
It's going towards Buffalo. It's Buffalo side. The hotel.
Yes. So, there's one with water slides coming out, the Splash Lagoon with water slides coming out, and there's another one, a little quieter down the road, really, really nice spot too. And it just has 1 water slide, jacuzzi, and a pool, more than enough for the needs of the McDonald family on a Saturday night. So we're going to take the kids go there swimming for the next 3.5, 4 hours. We'll be there in 15 minutes. And then get up tomorrow, take our time, maybe swim a little bit in the morning, and then head over to the mall in Buffalo, finish off our Christmas shopping for 2022, and head back to Ontario. So I want to give you guys, I didn't do the opening yet because we have the 2 horses racing tonight, and they've been racing good. I'm very interested to see how they're going to do. I didn't do the stables yet. I didn't do anything, but I wanted to bring you the yearlings because that is something that will not change between today and tomorrow. So I'm going to start with, where are we starting here? AC Swan. Those 2 horses, I expect to have them back by January the 1st. I know I told you around Christmas. I haven't really scheduled the shipping yet because we're trying to still figure out the stalls. We're very close to getting everything perfect. But we still have, Rosie Weaver is heading to North Carolina or South Carolina, I can't remember which one, but she has a number of stalls there. When they open up, we'll fill them right up. So, is this the Splash Lagoon place here?
Yes, yeah.
Right, and we're going to the other one. Yeah, I see, I remember now. Is it though? Yeah, it is. Right, yeah, yes it is. Yes, it is. So AC Swan and Alibaba have not made it back to Northfield Park yet, but they will by the first part of January. They've been doing their work out there. It's not like they're falling behind. It will be a little bit of a culture shock going from training with each other to falling in with sets of horses, but it's okay. There's lots of time. Activation. I love this horse. This horse, do you see him put the steps in today in Scotland with the big tall guy? Every time he put a step in, he just yell at him. And the horse would put a step in, he'd just come right up and keep going. Usually the horse would just take off in the gallop. He didn't. He's an honest bugger, I'll give him that. He was trotting nice today and looked very, very good. The track was deep, and we have flip-flops on everything, I believe, except for a couple of pacers. So there was, it was a little bit of a difficult day, and especially since I was going with all the ones that weren't doing it right now for the most part, or I just didn't feel they were as good as they could be the other day, or there was equipment changes made. It was a tough day. It was a long day for Anthony, I can tell you that. Old Amy Dunn, she only won one today.
It's a bit of
Booked off
mayhem.
a second race.
I did book off. I just didn't want to get murdered.
Booked off the second win.
Just didn't.
But she did get. Who'd you win with? Oh, you went with the little filly. Yeah, Snap. She was nice. So AC Swan, still in Illinois, on her way back here soon. Activation was good today. Finished second to me in the set where I get up to win. Affection. I'm beginning to like this filly. She is really, really growing up. See how tall she is?
Yeah.
She was nowhere near that size. I know Brody said she was pacey today. I never had a problem with this filly. I didn't go there. Jason went with her the other day, and she looked great. If she was a little pacey, she might have been slipping today, but she has got a beautiful, beautiful gait. Really, really nice filly. I like her a lot. And then Alibaba, as I said, will be coming to Ohio soon enough. Antilles Hanover looked great today. He's not gifted with the most beautiful gait, but I'll tell you what, I know he'll never miss Antilles Hanover. He wears hobbles, and he just looks like a very meat and potatoes. If you were going to give him a shirt that just said, I like the bull, that would be him. He's just a very run-of-the-mill, ordinary horse. He's just a very likable horse. This is the horse now, and in fairness, he struck Lauren and cut her head when we first got her, but Lauren did fess up and say it was her fault. It's never really your fault when a horse does that, but when you're dealing with babies and you scare them, you don't want to startle 800 pounds of muscle and hair. Bad things can happen. And Antilles Hanover, we did castrate him, but what a sweetheart. Another reason I think 3rd and 6th will come forward in a big way when we castrate him. Just seeing the attitude change in Antilles Hanover, he's become a very nice horse to go with. He does wear hobbles, he wears shin boots, he wears trotting boots. He's going to bump and clunk himself a little bit from time to time. But you know what? Tough as hell. Very, very nice horse. Now, I'm not saying very nice horse and he's going to win the Breeders' Crown. I mean, he's just a nice horse to be around because he takes his job seriously. And I like that. I respect that from all our horses. You guys know that. Urson was awesome today. Jason went with Urson. He looked like the top of the heap today. He looked very, very impressive today. I really like this colt. I think he's going to have a very bright future, and that isn't just because he's a pretty horse. He's bred well. This is a 3/4 brother to Pure Country, and he looks very good on the track. Blanton's Blue, they forgot the Murphy blind outside, and I didn't notice until after the set. Jason Merriman once said, really nice, but on the left line. I said, probably needs a Murphy, right? Yeah, he's wore one the last 3 weeks. So it's just little stuff like that. Sometimes, we're rushing around, and God love them. I love the new people that we've hired. They're really nice people, and probably 4 or 5 people in our barn right now in Ohio had no experience of horses, and I mean none, before we hired them, and they're all learning as they go. But the good thing about horse racing is it's not rocket science. You put in the work and pay attention to the animals you take care of, and things will go fine. And they're trying their hardest, but there are mistakes made from time to time, and I have to preach to them. There's an equipment card there on the door for the horse. Make sure all the equipment on the card is on the horse. But when we're rushing around in between set 2 and 3, trying to get the second set in and third out, sometimes the mistakes are made. And a Murphy blind being forgot isn't a dire mistake. It's not like somebody forgot a line, for the love of God, but it is when it comes to Blanton's Blue. He did make a break. He was good today, but on the left line and needed the Murphy. Born to Dance was good. He slid down now to number 2 in the castration list. First one being 3rd and 6th. Now Blanton's Blue. I guarantee a Memory and Imagination just sitting in his stall, chuckling to himself. He's dropped to 3. I think Mike said he could only do 2 this week. So Memory and Imagination may have a 7-day reprieve from castration. Chirahola was good today. Made a break, though, on Jason Merriman. Again, I get frustrated today. I'm like you, right? When you see the video and your horse doesn't go good, you're like, you're mad because the horse looked bad that day, but there's so many training sets between now and July. They can't all be good. And even I fall into it. I knew when I went on the track and I looked at the track was fine, but it was deep. We have a deep track and 40 plus horses with flip-flops on. It's not, yes, honey.
What if 36 didn't want to train because you said the track was deep?
Yeah, but I didn't ask him if he wanted to train. I wanted him to go out. He doesn't get that option. You go out and do your work, and that's that. I didn't say he couldn't train bad. I just said you have to train, and he didn't want to train. That was his problem. Chirahola, when you have 40 plus horses with flip-flops on a deep track, I know in my head there was a voice that just said, yeah, wake me up when it's over, because it was going to be a tough day. Some did their work well, and you really, days like today, you guys remember last year I said you have a bad track or something, or it's a cold day or whatever. This is the day that shows the true character. Well, that character's built over time. They don't all just come with great character. Some of them's built over time. And you get a sense of what the characters are of the horses today when you have a deep track with flip-flops on. Yeah. And that's not to say the ones that acted up today were bad. They just have to learn to push through. And Chirahola, Jason said to me after, would you mind if we put some hobbles on the Chirahola? I said, of course not. Go ahead. See if she gets with hobbles on. I have no problem with that. So we will. Cowboy by the Sea was good. Closing in on Arson, but I wasn't going to catch him. Again, he doesn't like the flip-flops that much on his front end, but they're not for grab. They're not for show. They're for him. I want to make sure that there's a low-stress, low-impact training session for him from now until June, and we can put the normal shoes on him in May. And it's not like he's going to get to me like, oh my God, I don't know how to pace anymore. I don't have flip-flops on. It doesn't work that way. We're going to leave the flip-flops on him. You're going to see him on days where it's snowy or deep, struggle a little bit with those flip-flops. And on days where the track's hard, he's going to look like a world champion. Hopefully, when push comes to shove next summer when he starts racing, he'll pick the ladder. So he was good today, just not quite as good as Arson. And Arson had flip-flops on too. Just the gait, the way you'll hear me say this last year and every year, how they enter and exit their gait, how they hit the ground, how they come off the ground. Some horses that hit the ground a little firmer will get a hold of the track today, where other horses that kind of just flop their legs over. They're just a different gait. I can assure you that Cowboy by the Sea, with just a set of full swedges on, would have been fantastic today. It's not about today. It's about next July. And we're setting him up to do his best work and be sound and healthy as we head into next summer. So today, December the 17th, not really a big deal when it comes to training. Don't talk about Bruno. He's been great. I love this horse. I actually felt a little bad that we castrated him because his brothers were so bad.
No, he's still being a little bit.
I don't know.
I mean, he's being good on the track.
Even Johnny said, he said, this horse doesn't do anything the other two do.
Because he's gilded, probably.
Yeah, maybe. But he's a nice colt, and he's done everything right so far. Bruno's been a really, really nice addition to our barn. It's not like we got him for nothing. We paid good money for him. but I think he's worth the money we paid for him. Very, very nice colt. Drebin, I know, not Amy's top pick, and I know why, because he stands off a bit. She's worried about him hitting himself. Drebin's got the right attitude. I like this horse. I like. You hear me say this a lot about a lot of them. I like everything about him. The way he does his work, the way he approaches work. Yeah, he's not perfect. He's got to make breaks. He's got to get a gear. I said to Danny, I didn't want to put the hobbles on him yet because I thought the hobbles might draw him into that knee. We're away from it now. He's not really hitting it. He may brush it from time to time. He stands off a little bit. But I suspect as we get closer to the spring, we'll have a better idea. Will he really need the hobbles? Does he get into himself a little more than we'd like? How are we going to mitigate that? Right now, we've done a good job. Right now, I think he's fine. Just got to go through the paces and do his work, but he's done everything great so far. Just a really nice horse to be around. Easy in the turns, looks great at every juncture. Just a really nice filly. This filly just got an easy gait, gets over the ground really quick. Very, very nice. Electric Line made a break today, but again, deep track. Now he made a break in the same place on you, I think.
What's that?
The Electric Line horse. But when I went with him, he was great.
I ran like on the last turn.
Coming out of the last turn. That's where he run today.
Yeah.
Well, halfway down the lane he run today. He was great when I went with him. I really like this horse. Got some pop to him. He's got a good attitude. Flash Fly has been good again. She's at one again. She's like not the same as the other filly. Insider Trading loves the hobbles. Flash Fly not really a fan. But I don't think it's going to matter. We're going to put, just made a tiny little tinker to her shoes this week. I think you're going to see a much better looking Flash Fly next time she goes. George of the Jungle's been good. Touches that right hind ankle. Most trotters do. I'm not worried about it. We can get him through that easy enough. There's no rush with George of the Jungle. Great gait. Nice way of going. Quick on his feet. I like this guy. Goldbug Hanover was great again today. This horse been in like 50. She's iron tough. I'll tell you what, these green shoes, they are built tough. And Goldbug was very, very good again today. Great Bet. Looks good. This is Greatest Endings brother. I love everything about this horse. Now, somebody asked me a good question the other day. Are you worried about Great Bet being lazy? He looks a little lazy on the track. And you said Rito Legacies, we're going to get rid of her because she's lazy. And they're both all bets off. It's a very select group, too. But I think there are some all bets off that have been doing well. I know Ron Burke and Mark Weaver have... Mark Weaver and Ron Burke have tried to... Oliver! Mark Weaver and Ron Burke have really supported the sire, and I know there's some out there that are good, and I'm not going to say that they're a lazy breed of horse because I had one or two that are lazy. And Great Bet's not lazy. He's just very reserved. Here you go.
Sorry.
He's just very reserved, and I like the colt. I don't have any reason not to. And although the question's fair, you're talking about two very selected. You're selecting two horses and saying, is this breed lazy because the two you had were lazy? That's not fair to the horse. So, Great Bet. It's a good question, though. But Great Bet, I wouldn't call him a lazy horse. In fact, Johnny said the other day when he went with him, he said, totally different than he was on the last drone video. He was very, very happy with him. I like the horse. Green Tea, Dr. Rucker, I don't know. I assume everybody watched my videos, but that's unfair. Dr. Rucker owned this horse. We had a very frank conversation. I love the way he said it the other day. If you don't like him, just get rid of him. Just sell him. It's not that I don't like him. It's very, very preliminary to say I like him or I don't like him right now. I was talking about castrating him. I worked him hard last week, and I didn't know what he'd be like today. You know, I had a pretty rough day aside from a couple that went really good, and I was going out the last set, and I look, I see Green Tea. He made a bunch of breaks last time I went with him. Man, this is going to be a tough day. I went out the track, he never made one break. Won a mile in 2:54 and looked very, very good doing his work. I like what I saw from Green Tea. I like the green shoes. You know, I wish we'd about 15 of them now. No, I wish we had them.
They're nice now.
Yeah, they're nice now, and they were so nasty to break, and they just turned just like that. It took a couple of weeks. You know, we went 12 rounds, but when it was all said and done, I like the green shoes.
They really have an issue with their gait, but then once they get their gait, they're perfect.
Ignorant. What they are is, Amy's right. They have an issue with their gait. They interfere. They make breaks, and then they get ignorant and angry. But once you help them with their gait and they catch it, immediately they just turn. Insider Trading's just turned into the sweetest horse you'd ever want to see. And I love that she loves the hobbles because she uses them. You remember I talk to you guys all the time about you put the hobbles on and sometimes they work against them and they make breaks and they fight with them, and then you put them on other horses. It's almost like
you're saying thank you.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like they're like, oh, that is so much easier now. And they use the hobbles the way they're meant to be used. Insider Trading's like that. She loves her hobbles, where Flash Fly's the opposite. She despises them. Now, she may learn to like them, or we'll just leave them off her. She's trotting fine without them, and I'm sure she'll get it. The little shoeing change we made the other day, I think, will help Flash Fly. And this is what I love, tinkering with them to get them right, and they change, right? It's not like a Rubik's Cube. You don't get to solve it, and you're like, oh, finally. It keeps changing. So as they change, you try to stay one step ahead, or at least try to stay in lockstep with them. And when it comes to the green shoes, all of them broke the same way. Nasty little buggers, and then after 2 weeks, they're different. They change their attitude. And when it comes to Flash Fly or Insider Trading or even Green Tea, quite a change in this horse's attitude today. He had his ears up where before he was just being rude and ignorant. Is this? It's not. Oh yeah, right. Yeah. I thought it was that one there. But it's actually a really nice hotel, eh? Holiday Inn. Huh. Just wait a couple of minutes till Addie wakes up. Just let her give her a couple more minutes.
Well, you go check in.
No, but that's a good idea, Ollie. Why does it say
What if
exit?
someone behind us comes in and books flashy?
We already booked the route. No one can tell.
So, what were we at? We were at Green Tea. A horse that I love is Gypsy Hill. Gypsy Hill looked great again today. I think I went the wrong way.
It's okay. Oh yeah, you can't get around.
You can't get around this way. So Gypsy Hill, I think, thus far is one of our top prospects here in Ohio, especially for the state of Ohio. Man, I love this horse. I love everything about him. A lot of the Ohio breds are coming along very well, but Gypsy Hill, his gait, he's just got a lot of pop to him. No hobbles, just wears a set of trotting boots behind, and he can really, really dance. He won the set today, I think, very, very easily, if I'm not mistaken. Jason was on him. I think he set a different driver every week just because he's the first one where when I'm trying to figure out who I'm going with, again, if we have 6 to 8 sets, I can only go with 6 to 8 horses. So then you're looking, who's going to go with this one? Who's going to go with this one? That guy's about to leave from a perfect spot, I think. Who's going to go with all these horses? Gypsy Hill's first one, it doesn't matter. Anybody can go with Gypsy Hill. He's the same. But I see him. I'm not oblivious to parking spots. Hallie in the Clouds has been good. Little cranky. Old big Hallie. She made a break on Danny the other day, finishing up her mile. I think it was more her being stubborn than anything. Oliver, sit down until this car is stopped. Thank you. So Hallie in the Clouds, all in all though, has been great. Beautiful gait on this filly. I think it's come to a point where she's maybe just a little bit stubborn, right? The horses want to go quicker, and when you hold them back, some of them get in this lackadaisical way where they're kind of bored. It almost seems like, and that's the way it seems with Hallie in the Clouds. And what we might do is this Wednesday, I might go with Hallie in the Clouds, might cut her loose a little bit, stretch her legs, a big girl, but she's got a beautiful gait. I love this filly. I'm fancy like, she's lazy. That's a lazy filly. This 3 times now. I've been in 245, but you have to scrub on her. And when you get her in 5th gear, you got to keep her there, because if you let her drop back into 3rd, you might not get her there again. Now, is that a sign of ignorance, sourness, or just a little lazy trying to catch her gait? I don't know. There will be at some point, there'll be a time where I just can't keep chasing and chasing and chasing to go slower miles. She's going to have to gain muscle. She's going to have to understand her work, want to do it more. That's not to say that she can't or won't. I've seen horses just like her come forward in big ways, but it takes time. So I'm watching her. She's got some work to do. Speed-wise, she's at or ahead of everybody else, but that's with me dropping the hammer on her every week, and I can't do that all the time. So we went with an open bridle the last 3 weeks just to let her know, hey, I'm not playing around here, right? Do your work, and that's that. Now we'll put the blinds back on her. Now she knows I'm back there. Now she knows, there's no showing you the whip, and now I'm going to snap you on the tail, and it's time to go. And that's exactly what is going to happen with I'm Fancy like next week, is that, now that she's been warned, this is your work, I need you to do it, I expect her to come forward in a big way. Beautiful gait, not a boot. Nice gait, nice way of going. There's no reason this filly can't come forward in a big way. What she reminds me of, now that I say it? What was that filly that Harry had that we'd sold for money that was a well-bred mare related to Courtly Choice and them, the Hanover horse? I think she was a Hanover. No, she was a Winback horse we bought. The Better's Delight filly. We sold her in the spring. Twinkle in her eye. Yeah, a little cranky sometimes. Pin her ears. You got to snap, and she, it's almost like touch her with the tail or tripped her first instinct. She just kind of looks back at you. It's frustrating, but those are horses that can come forward or they can't, and those are the ones where you're like, come on, is this horse going to do her? If you'd have been out and watched her train today, you'd be like, come on, this horse no good. But don't jump to conclusions. Every horse is a little different. Sometimes it takes a little more time just to shake the rust out of them.
You know who was like that?
Who?
Gandalf.
Exactly. Gandalf was like that. Different sex.
Yeah.
I'm worried it's a gender problem. But you're right. Gandalf was like that and came forward in a big, big way. One of my most anticipated horses of the early winter will be Gandalf. He is amazing looking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Insider trading, I think this horse gets top marks. I don't think anybody in our yearling ranks now. As I say that, it sounds silly. It's almost Christmas. There's nobody that wants to go toe-to-toe with this filly inside the stable.ca right now on any gate. Insider trading? No. Name one.
Are you talking about just an
Anyone. Pacer, trotter, anywhere. On either side of the border.
I haven't gone with her, so I can't comment.
I could train her in 2:30 right now, easy. She's been a mile in 2:52. But when she does it, it just feels like she's just itching to explode forward. Danny went with her the other day. Said, oh yeah, this thing can fly. She is a very, very nice filly. I've gone with everybody or seen everybody. I don't know. Now, I've gone through the list. I can tell you nobody I've spoke about so far. Like a horse like Arson might be able to go with her. But a pacer. But I don't think anybody wants to square off with her. No one.
Okay.
Very, very nice filly. International Spy, as I said, probably the nicest gait of anybody we have in the stable. Just when you say, how is a trotter supposed to look? That one over there. Watch that horse. He's the one. International Spy does it perfectly. Just a beautiful, beautiful horse. Irresistible Sun run on Jason today. That's not really a bad thing. Jason struggles with the gates sometimes. Irresistible Sun. He ran on you. I think he just touches himself a little bit in the straightaways. Might put the hobbles on him. I love this horse, though. He was my top pick in Ohio before we got to the sale. And that says, I say this a lot, and I'll continue to say it, that says a lot for a Triumphant Caviar. We've never had any luck with Triumphant Caviars. They're Chris Beaver's horses. They're not Anthony's. But this guy, he's been plenty fast. He made a break on Jason. He still won a mile 2:55. The horse can go lots. Nice horse. Done everything right. You just slap the hoops on him for a little bit to help him out. We'll see. But still, very nice horse. J-Port Beach Boy does his work well in Ontario. We were going through the breeding the other day, and it was, even some of the people we were talking to were surprised the horses we have. This guy here, such a nice horse, is Century Pharaoh's brother, Mick Wicked. I've seen a couple of Mick Wickeds. People said they like them. Both the ones we have are very, very nice. And this guy here, J-Port Beach Boy, nice horse. Levesque in Action. Now, I went the right way of the track with Levesque in Action and then had to cede my drive to Amy to go with a horse she was having trouble with this morning, who, for some reason, was bad. She's never been bad, ever. An easy fix. And Levesque in Action acted up a little bit on Amy. But when I went with her the right way, before I went with her, a lot of people email me and say, hey, you went with Levesque in Action with the hobbles. Was she any better? Much better. Needs to put a lot of muscle and a lot of weight on, but she eats good, so that won't be a problem. Again, but I thought she had her ears up, doing her work well. I wish I had went with her today.
She wasn't rude.
Yeah, she'll be fine. I really like this filly. And again, I'm not going to tout her. I can tell you there's a lot she has to work on, but I like what I saw today in Levesque in Action. Lonely Lakewood has been awesome. This horse just floored me. How good he looked with Johnny last week. Oh, sit down, sweetheart, for a sec. Lonely Lakewood just looked great. Very happy with him. Lover's Play was good again today. Scott Hill. I finally ended up hearing his last name. Scott Hill. Nice guy. He went with the horse today and did very, very well with her. She looked great. Mick Paisley, the other Mick Wicked, looks great. Mario's been going through her the last couple of times. I think she made a break, but I think she might have just overpaced herself the other day a little bit. Beautiful gait on that filly. Melanie's Michaela, better today. And better this week. Neither her or I'm Fancy Like are going to turn any heads. They're not right now. Will they in the future? I don't know. There's no reason they can't. But they both have work to do, but they both did it this week, so good for them. She beat me at the wire. I think we won them on 249 or 250. Mel Gibbswan, one of the nicer looking horses you're going to see. It's right. Amy picked this horse out. I had nothing to do with picking Mel out, and I have no problem. I mean, I saw him before he went in the ring, and I said, yeah, he's a beautiful horse. Who was the horse we were going to look at? Swandre's brother.
Yeah, I like
We
him
went to look
better.
at Swandre, the Giant's brother. This horse was in the same consignment, and Amy said, "This is the best looking. This is the best looking Swan for all I've seen. He's beautiful. I agree. He is a good looking horse. He looked great on the track all week and looked good again today. Horse that was better today. He might watch the YouTube videos when no one's around. His memory and imagination. He might hear what I said about him last week, that I was going to castrate him, because he was all business today. He looked very, very good, but we're still going to castrate you. It's just going to take us a few more weeks. Luckily for you, 3rd and 6 bounced ahead of you, quite a bit ahead of you today. 3rd and 6, Born to Dance, Step Down. I believe Memory and Imagination is
Probably all
next.
Father Patrick's.
Some of them. Memory and Imagination is definitely on there. Militant. Lauren was right beside me finishing up. Lauren went with Militant today. So, Lauren actually has a little piece of Militant, I believe, quietly. I don't know if she knows. I know.
Not quite now.
Not quite now. But Lauren went with Militant today. So, I guess she doesn't have it. She's takes care of the horse.
I don't know.
Whoever bought the last, I forget who it was. Anyway, there's a connection there. I remember now.
Yeah.
So Militant, Lauren went with today's horse. Beautiful horse. He does everything right. And we had his sister. She was a mongrel. What was her name? Nancy.
Oh, Nancy Allison?
That's Nancy Allison's brother.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Nancy Allison, the little, oh my
wow,
God, what
she's
a
a
loon
troll.
she was. Oh, she was crazy. And this is Nancy Allison's brother, Militant.
I know that.
He is nothing like her. She was crazy and hot and just rude all the time. And this guy's just the sweetest horse to be around. Very nice gait, very nice going. Mounds for all. Lazy. We've got to the bottom of it. He isn't sour. He isn't ignorant. He is lazy. But he'll do his work. I like this guy, and I think he'll come on and on and on. I've seen lots of horses like him, and I have no problems with Mounds for all. Myself and this bar sent him back to Canada this week to get fluoroscope. Want to get him looked at. Danny said he jogged good today. No visible lameness, which is good. Just want to run the fluoroscope over and see what's going on. Before we start changing shoes and tinkering and doing this and doing that, just want to get a look at him. Can you ask Preston to put 4 full swedges on that horse? Because I didn't message him back since Danny and I spoke.
On which one?
Just say Anthony was talking to you about that new colt from Ohio. Can you put 4 full swedges and 4 corks on him? Can you do that now? Because I think he might be at the barn. No Chance in Hill was great today. Brody went with him. It's a nice horse. I can't believe he went from so crazy at the sale to so sweet in the barn. He's the sweetest horse. He looked great today on the track. Oh, Snap You, Amy's filly. Amy loved this filly. Amy, now this is one of the rare horses. We both picked this filly out. This filly was both one that we loved. On near the top of our list. Now, top of my list, I told you guys already, was the Triumphant Caviar Colt, Irresistible Sun. But Oh Snap You was near the top of my list. Amy and I both like this filly. Amy's gone with her, loves her. She gets along with her very good, and won again easily today with Oh Snap You. Paycheck Princess looked very good. Made a break halfway down the lane, but again, I think that was more the racetrack. Just slipped a little bit when Darryl went to put her in gear. He said he might have heard her grab a shoe a little bit. Might just put some bandages on her behind, but she's been good. Man, what a beautiful gait on this filly. Peck Pocket was good again today. The Wallner colt, he's a nice colt. Prince Charmer was good again. Pull the Shoes made a break today on Joey, I believe, but has been exceptionally good. So pitch right away. Punch the Clock. Showed you guys a video of Punch the Clock the other day walking. 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks should be able to start jogging again. That is really, really hard to believe. What a beautiful filly. And I was so worried. She's not a big filly. She's not small, but she's not a big filly. And when they said, she's going to lose weight because of this operation, and, we'll try and get her back on feed. Is she on feed now? Like full time?
A little bit, but I was going to do more aggressive when I got back.
But she's supposed to start back on feed now? So she's supposed to start back on feed now. She never lost any weight, I don't think. She looks amazing in the barn. You guys saw her walking? I couldn't believe how good she looked. But you can just tell, right? Just class. It would be one of the most heartbreaking things if she didn't turn out to be a nice horse. Just with everything surrounding this filly and what she's overcome and how hard she fought. Not just to survive, but to make it back and look the way she does. Just looks healthy all the time. Just such a beautiful horse. Purple People Eater was fantastic today. Jason went with her, said he loves her. Ready for Landing was bad. Very rude today. I can almost assure you, if he looks like he's touching his elbows. And before you get worried, a lot of good horses do. A lot of good horses come up very close to their elbows, and some do. White Tiger hits his elbows. Who else do we have that hit their elbows?
Yeah, you sold him, but it was
Who?
that trotter, and Harry had him, and Jason trained him too.
I don't know. Anyway, White Tiger hits his elbows. A couple other horses come very, very close, but I wouldn't be too concerned about it. You got that big, beautiful gait. Carter Michael Dio is almost a twin of this guy, the way they go, and he was very close to his elbows also. So, ready for landing. I said to the blacksmith, I know why he was acting up today. He was slipping with the deep track and the flip-flops on, and with that little bit of weight, those trotting shoes, he was coming very close, if not hitting his elbows. So I said, you know what, let's just circumvent all this. I'm going to put the hobbles on him, put a lighter shoe on him because he'll trot with them. Just a full swedge, just a pacing full swedge. For those of you out there that are trainers, you have those, maybe not trainers, you have those heavier full swedge shoes. Then the lighter ones are what most pacers wear. We'll just put a lighter full swedge on him. I think he'll go with a light shoe. With the hobbles and a light shoe, I think he'll come right down out of his elbows, and he'll be able to grab the track a little bit more, because I don't want this guy getting upset and angry because he's a big bugger to begin with. He was not crazy, ornery. Very ornery today. He was very out of sorts and angry today. Really don't care is just an amazing filly. Funny, we had a Swedish trainer email me yesterday and asked specifically about Goldbug Hanover and Really Don't Care. I think they were fishing to see if they could buy them, and I think I can speak for everybody and say no, it's not for sale. I think we did a great job buying them. I'm not in a big hurry to turn them over. So they said, if you ever want to, let me know. I'll let you know. Really Don't Care. Really nice filly. Rito's Lady looks nice. I said, a little weird, right? She'll kick at you sometimes, but weird in the sense where I think she just grew up in a smaller place where there wasn't that pecking order, where there wasn't that group of horses. And it's weird when you see, Oliver, when you see horses come in out of the field like that, you can tell. They're just a little bit different, and they'll learn. I guarantee you they'll learn. They'll learn who the boss is. They'll learn what you can and can't do, and that's the place that this filly's at. But on the track, a beautiful gait. We all just sat there and watched her go the other day. Danny went with her. Mario and I just sat there and watched her go and just said, geez, this Huntsville filly's really, really nice filly. She does everything really nice. So we'll see. I'm sure that odd rigidness, and you don't see it a lot because we usually buy our horses from bigger farms. Some people send us horses, but again, most of them are breeders with horses. This filly came from a smaller outfit, a very small little boutique farm, and I think that Jonathan did a great job raising her. The filly looks amazing, but I don't think she ever got that societal way about her where she has to fit in somewhere, and she will. We're a big barn, and I think she'll learn quite quickly where her place is, and whether she wants to move up to the top or not is up to her. But man, it certainly looks like she's got all the tools from what we see. Very preliminary, but she looks very, very good. Royal Emeralds look good again today. Very happy to see another green shoe. Loon, completely crazy when we broke her, and hot. And now we got her under control. She's doing her work well. Jason's done a great job with her, and she looks very, very good. Seasons of Love. Very happy with what I've seen now. I think they still had the open-toed backward shoes on her up front. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep those on her. She made a breaker last time training, and Mario thought she was slipping. He's probably right. She probably was slipping. We can change back. I don't know how. I don't know why, but it does appear that those toe weights were the culprit. That was really bothering her, and I can't really put my finger on it or tell you why. I don't know. It's a very easy. Somebody sent me a bunch of, you can try these clips or that clip. It's simple. We just fiberglass them on. You just glue the shoes on to where, we'll just glue the shoes on to where they would go otherwise. Where are we? Sedona Hill. Amy, there was a little bit of a mix up in that set. What had happened was I went around, I forget who I was going with in that set, but I had gone around a couple of times and people caught up. Usually what we do is start, go one full lap, and then go a mile. And then that will transition into a 1.5 mile training for our horses later on in the spring. What happened was I had gone a couple of miles, a couple of people joined in, a couple more people, and then Amy had thought we were pulling up when we were actually just finishing our mile. So I was at the back on the run. I forget what horse I had. Might have been Ready for Landing. No, I don't know who it was, but I had made a break, and I was at the back, and I'm looking down. It might have been 3rd and 6.
I was going to say, I think it's
might have been 3rd and 6. And I was angry enough to begin with because I was frustrated at what he was doing and how he was doing it. And Amy pulled up. I said, what are you doing? She said, well, we're done. No.
To be honest, Jason Merriman also thought we were done.
That
So it
doesn't
wasn't
mean that
just me.
either of you were right.
I know. I didn't
Okay.
want to throw him under the bus.
That's fine. No,
Hopefully
that's fine.
he
Either
doesn't-
way, Sedona Hill
hopefully he
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
watch this because I just did.
Sedona Hill certainly isn't no concern.
She didn't make one break.
Yeah,
I
she's
totally
fine.
know.
Southwind Digit, that was the one that Amy booked off today. Digit's the sweetest horse in the world. And I mean an absolute sweetheart. For whatever reason, she was wild this morning. Now, I told Amy what I thought it was. This was the first day that I've been here anyway, and I've been here every training day, where there was a deeper track, and it was deep, and there was some snow mixed in. I think when it starts hitting them up under the belly and hitting the apron of the jog cart, some of them take it the wrong way, and they get very concerned and very anxious. And she almost got away on Amy, which she didn't almost get away, but she put a little scare into Amy. I think Amy come off the track with her, which you're supposed to do, especially when you're in her situation. And when I got on the track with her, she went to bolt on me a couple of times, but I could tell she was bolting because she was terrified. Something was scaring her, and I knew right away what it was. It was either the apron or a combination of the apron sounds and the snow and dirt hitting her up under the belly, because there was such an excessive amount on the track today. And that's not a bad thing. But once we got her in the mile, she was a little anxious a couple of times, but after I got about a half a mile into her, I moved her over and she mowed them down and won the set. I love this filly. I absolutely love Southwind Digit. Sunset Acres Girl was good again today. The old no-name colt, the old no-name filly, continues to look good here at the stable. Looked good again the other day. Now, Joel, I don't know if Joel watched 41 minutes of video, but if you waited all the way to the S's to hear about Sweeney, Amy went with Sweeney today and loved the colt. He looked very, very, very good on the track. I told everybody, trotting boots, let his head down a little bit, put an ear hood on him, because he's very spooky, right? Very, very spooky, scared of everything, sees everything, looks at everything. We got to let him see it. They had a can't see back bridle on him for 2 weeks. Put the clothes back on him, put an ear hood on him, let his head down, put some hobbles and trotting boots on him. Amy cut him loose today. He looked amazing, looked very, very good on the track. Third and Sixth, we talked a lot about him today. I'm not really angry overall, a little disappointed with the way he acted today. He's just got to do his work better. Castrate him immediately, and he'll come forward. Just like, as I said, Antilles Hanover. Antilles Hanover, I sat behind him 3 times in the last 4 weeks. I love this horse. And with the first week, they went with him just a sour little miserable bugger. He's just turned into a nice horse. Was that his work? Was that the castration? I don't know. But we're going to find out, because we're going to castrate Third and Sixth here this week. Time is on my side, most definitely not being castrated. What a beautiful horse. If you had said to me, okay, how do you want this horse to look at Christmas 2022? I couldn't have described it any better than what I see on the track from him. He looks amazing on the track. Union Suit looked good again today. If anything, he's fat. He's obese. I told him, so what are you feeding this horse anyway? Milkshakes? And they said, no. He just gets 2 scoops of feed. I said, I guess milkshakes was the wrong word. Cheeseburgers? What are you feeding this horse? And they said, no, just 2 cans at supper. I said, okay, so why don't we cut him back to 1.5 cans? We'll reworm him on the weekend, today, Sunday. And then I don't know how far they're jogging him. I love the way that both Jason and Jason do it. They jog by minutes, right? 15, 20 minutes. I love that. I don't do it, but I really like that part of it. I said just up his jogging a little bit. He's a little bit fat, this guy. And whatever you're feeding him dissipates somewhat in the feeding for now. I just turned this off. Union Suit. Vaquero Blue Chip looks great on the track. Very underrated. Do you know this is the brother? And I didn't realize this. This is the brother to Spider Blue Chip.
Who is?
Vaquero Blue Chip.
No, that's...
I
Wait,
forgot. Yeah, Vaquero. The one that the Scott kid keeps going with.
what's he buying again?
Father Patrick.
Right.
Very nice horse. He does nothing wrong and looks fantastic on the track. Venice Blue Chip's the one you went with. That's the lather up filly. She looked good again today. Very happy with what I've seen from her. Victory Blue Chip. There's a couple of horses making breaks in front of you today, you said. Did they have the Murphy outside?
No, so what happened, yes they did, but what happened was he stumbled really bad.
You said
made
that.
a break.
Right.
And then I caught back up.
Yes.
And then I kind of came out on your back with that lazy filly with the open bridle.
Mm-hmm.
And then she kind of went in around like this, and then I tried to drop him back down and he run.
Okay. So probably need to shoe him behind blister stifles.
I was going to say that, but the track was so deep, so
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
true.
if we should just give him a
I'm
mulligan.
not that worried about it. Watch Your Mouth has been great, looks great, continues to look very, very good on the track. Widespread Panic looks good on the track also. Very happy with him. And last but not least, at 44 minutes and 14 seconds, is Winter Bells. I'm debating her left hind and left front ankle filled up just ever so slightly this week. And I was debating taking her up with myself in this barn. I guess I probably should. I should probably message Melissa and see if she can make room. I don't think there's anything there. She's been sound as a dollar, but I don't think and I don't know are two different things. So I would rather turn think into know. I think now that I say it out loud, I'm just going to go ahead and send her up to Melissa's on Monday. Up to around the corner now. Our farm is literally like 6 minutes from McKee Equine. So we'll send her down, I guess, to McKee Equine.
Kristen said, "Are you sure there's no flip-flops?"
No, not on him. Not on him. So that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do for Monday. So with that, that's all the babies. A very long video today, but I wanted to make sure, especially this time of year, you guys see what is going on. There are some horses that will regress a little bit. We got to make changes like 3rd and 6th. I'm not worried about it. There's no issue mechanically with the horse, just their attitudes. And when you look at a horse that came from Lexington, that's had some work into them, and yes, the track was deep, but that doesn't give them the right to be rude and ignorant today. Now, when it comes to a horse like Ready for Landing, it's different. He's touching himself, he's hitting himself. That is different. But when it comes to 3rd and 6th, he just doesn't really want. He's dogging it a little bit. Not putting forth a full effort. And quite frankly, that's just going to turn into a bad attitude in my mind. We're going to nip that in the bud right now, and he will be the first one castrated. Oliver, he will be the first one castrated this week. So, very happy with some of the horses. As I said, if you're going to make me give you my top horse on the trot and pace of the week, rather than give you some mundane top 10 list that really means nothing this time of year, I will tell you the best trotter we have right now, this second, is Insider Trading. And I believe the best pacer, I wanted to say Time Is On My Side, but that's not fair. Arson. No one wants any part of Arson right now. He looked amazing.
Venice Blue Chip.
Venice Blue Chip? He beat you today.
Because I couldn't get out.
That's not my fault.
And did you see where I was at the wire?
You got to drive them a little
I was
better.
at the front.
You got to get them out and get them out. James, I don't want to hear about it.
Okay.
Amy said Venice Blue Arson was second over, pounced on cover and won.
Yeah, and I had to wait for the passing lane and then put a 2-year-old at the passing lane with a Murphy blind on the outside.
Sounds like a lot of excuses to me. All I know is that Venice looked good, but Arson won the set, and he is... Listen, I love Venice Blue Chip.
No, you don't. You love Arson.
I gave her top. She was my number 1 pick last week in the top 10. Number 1. You can't say I don't like her. Arson looked very, very good today. Jason did a good job. The colt looked amazing today. I love Cowboy by the Sea. I love Time Is On My Side. Watch Your Mouth looked very good also. I could give you 4 or 5 or 6 horses that look great. But as of right now, the top trotter of the week, Insider Trading. Top pacer of the week is Arson. That's my video. With that, we have been here for 10 minutes. We are now going to go in, check in, and go swimming. Addie can be woke up from her nap. Have a little water slide time for the family, for the McDonald family. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Good luck again to everybody racing tonight, racing throughout the rest of the weekend, into the week, and into Christmas. It's been a great year. Hope we keep it going. Take care.